The action is through the roof as it is time for qualifying. This session decides who goes into hyperpole to decide exactly who starts on pole for the 24 hours of Le Mans. 3 classes with the hypercar, LM, GT, AM and the LMP2 categories. The 66 with the JMW Motorsport just getting a few little bit of last minute work done after it hit the barrier this morning in practice 1. All looks to be better, well prepared. The 13 won't be out for the rest of the day. New chassis is needed as well. The 77 just having a few more bits of work done. Hello everybody, welcome up to the commentary box for all your timing and watch along needs for the 2023 Le Mans 24 Hour, the 91st running of this event. And of course celebrating 100 years since the first iteration of Le Mans in 1923. We are a few moments away from qualifying getting underway. So running through all our systems, you've got the normal screen with myself and co-commentators available. We've got information from race control as well. Driver tracker will be coming during the weekend. I will just double check and see if there might be one available now, so fingers crossed. But on Saturday, Sunday during Le Mans, we'll have a driver tracker as well. We're also trying to get our green screen set up. There's some video from the track side as well. So behind me, you'll be seeing like things like race control and everything. But we're just trying to find the correct video sources. If not, we'll see some cars behind as well from the track action. Timing tower, once it's actually popped into correct position, we'll see the top 24 that we can also scroll down in throughout the whole 36 car field. We have the ability to go full screen with that timing monitor as well, so you can see every sector time possible. Flags at the top next to the time remaining as well. And then this is something that we're really proud of. This is our race control information that we had to use quite a lot of during the last session as well. This will give us all our information going into qualifying. The qualifying session is live now, and this is what we'll see as well. Session stats throughout it as well. Who's in the pit, drive time with certain cars as well. Car comparisons, so who's faster on qualifying and who's not, and race control messages as well. So a complete analysis field as we'll go into this. The session is moments away, and on the world feed commentary, it is Martin Haven and Antti Davidson. Cars are preparing. We've got around about 5 minutes, 30 seconds until the green light goes on. So let's have a word with our world feed commentators.
It means they're not a professional paid driver. It means predominantly they are businessmen who have the wherewithal to go racing at this level. Those are the drivers who will qualify these cars. They are not all men either. Sarah Bovey in the pink Porsche that you will see during the session, the Iron Dames car, she is their bronze rated driver.
In the pit lane, this is still race control. We are now 5 minutes to start the qualifying session. As in free practice, any lap that will be completed beyond the track limit will be deleted. Please connect to this card so that we can contact you, and we will come back to the frequency before the session starts. Thank you.
Okay, that, fans, is not for you to connect to Discord. That's for the teams to use Discord with the race director's circuit. So that was our WEC assistant race director, Lisa, who is on the radio as well. You will hear the joint race directors at various times during the course of the weekend.
Now, we did say around the penalty that's gone the way of Stephen Thomas aboard the Town Motorsport car. There's part of the incident, or the second incident, involving the 777 car off the road and then hit under a wave yellow by Stephen Thomas. Just heard, with thanks to Tom Ferrier, who's got his hands full at the moment, they are bringing a replacement car out from the UK to replace the 777. So that is the solution coming from TF Sport, who look after the D-Station racing efforts. So there will be things underway. Antonio Foco there.
Yeah, haven't seen that helmet. That's new for this weekend. Lots of monochrome. Now, it's 50 years since Ferrari raced in the top flight here at Le Mans.
As a factory team.
And it does look like, as a factory team, it does look like that all of their previous wins have been represented there in black and white, in amongst his normal helmet livery. Lots of drivers like to produce a celebratory or a new helmet for Le Mans, and it is the centenary of this race. 1923 was the first Le Mans 24 hours, so it's a special time for everybody.
Well, if you are a Ferrari fan, and let's face it, there's millions, billions of those, and you are either here or coming here bit later for the race. Do build in an hour or two, because you will never see more winning Ferraris from Le Mans than in the museum here.
3 minutes. Under 3 minutes to open pit lane for qualifying session. 3 minutes.
I thought you meant to queue for merchandise.
There is going to be that as well.
Oh boy, I don't care how much everybody brought, they're going to sell out in a big way. This is a massive, massive crowd already.
We said earlier in the broadcast there will be, I'm sure, a huge number of people listening in and watching in this evening that desperately want to be here. If you can't be here, we're really sorry for whatever reason that might be, but do join us. We're on air for every track session for the Le Mans 24 Hours contenders, and we'll try and bring you some of the atmosphere, the action, the adrenaline-fueled rush that this is providing, and some of the fun that is the Le Mans 24 Hours, and this year more than most.
Now you can see we've got two different tyre manufacturers in the field. Goodyear on the right-hand column there, they supply the tyres for the LMP2 category. Michelin supply the tyres for hypercar and for the GTE class, and for the first time ever, both tyre manufacturers are using the same colour to denote soft, medium and hard compound slick racing tyres and the wet weather tyre. Now the slight difference is that there is in GTE AM a wet and a drying wet compound. The drying wet will basically survive in full dry-ish conditions, depending on the temperature probably, so that you don't have to kind of keep coming in and out of the pits to change tyres, to chase the rain or to chase the dry. So that's going to be an interesting little added factor. In the pit lane, we have our regular pit lane reporter, Louise Beckett. Lou, hotter than Hades out there still.
Yes, it is, but it's okay. We can manage with it. It's fine. I just caught up with number 33 Corvette, and they've had...
As being done beyond track limits will be immediately deleted within the possibilities. So please let's respect track limits.
Yeah, basically, respect my garden was what he's been famous as saying as well. Eduardo Freitas, around about 20 seconds to go then, the tension begins to rise. I really wish we had a driver tracker for this session as well, but sadly that will be available on the race only as we come into it. So 1 hour to decide the running order going into the qualifying for the Hyperpole. We'll explain the format as we get ready. 994 Peugeot coming on. 8 seconds to go.
4, 3, 2, 1. Qualifying has started.
The green flag goes and qualifying is underway for the 2023 Le Mans 24 Hour. They've had 3 hours of practice. It's caught a few of the drivers out. Now what are we going to see here? Just 60 minutes of the action to run. Fingers crossed it's actually going to be a good one. Cars already queuing to get out of the pit lane. All of the LMPs going out there straight away. Hypercars, as you can see. Few of them heading out there. Cadillac Racing going out too. So hopefully we're going to be in for a very entertaining session. As I just adjust my monitor up here in the commentary box as well. The Ferrari heading out. It's the first time I've seen the Ferrari out on track here at Le Mans. This morning during the first practice session, we were mainly focusing on the Toyotas as well and the LMP2 field. But there's the 50 Ferrari circulating out, the 50 Ferrari, under the power of Foucault, Monella and Nelson as well. As I looked on my driver stats up here in the comms box, looking to move that lovely GT Omega chair out of the way for a while so I can get to my commentary notes as well. Packed hypercar field as well. 4, 8, around about 16 hypercar entries as well. It's absolutely fantastic. We've got the 2 Cadillac, the 3 Cadillac, the 4 Van Wall, the 5 and 6 Porsches, the 7 and 8 Toyota Gazzoos, the 38 for the Hertha Team Jolter, the 50 and 51 Ferrari, the 75 Penske Porsche, as well coming into it, the 93 and 94 Peugeot, the 311 Action Express Racing, and the 708 and the 709 Glickenhaus Racing. The Glickenhauses are not a normal hypercar hydrogen power, and neither is that of the van wall. So they are not hydrogen-powered hypercars. You'll be able to tell that on your timing screen, because those that are hypercar hydrogen will have hypercar H next to them. Normal hypercars will just say hypercars. There's Jimmy Johnson. Alongside him as well is Jenson Button, the 2009 F1 World Champion. Got a yellow flag out there on the circuit. So what's happened? This is where the driver tracker comes in handy, but we haven't got one. So yellow flag at Marshall Post 1. That's in the first sector. And Marshall Point 1 is down just at the top of the chicane. Now we've got another yellow flag down in the second sector. Oh, it's Marshall Point 11, which is the chicane. It's the Forza chicane at the back of the straight, the first two down the Mistral. So that's where the yellow flags come out, as you can see on your trackers. Marshall Point 11. We've got a car stopped, I'm being told in my ears, so that could bring out a full course yellow or slow zone. We'll see which one it's going to predict. Green flag. Okay, brilliant. So track clear. I was worried for a second that we might have that differential of having qualifying be a bit worried, but Marshall Point yellow has been removed as they came through. Not sure which of the two cars will stop. There's the 23 United Autosports as well. I had a bit of an accident this morning, but it's looking to be okay. And Alberto Costa has left the track. Albert Costa in the 34 for LMP2's field. There's the Peugeot. Now, who stayed in the pit lane? This is the interesting thing to see in the hypercar class, because it looks to me like we've got Sebastian Bourdais in number 3 Cadillac Racing has stayed in there, so they haven't changed him over just yet. Let's take a look quickly as well. This is what our battle screen computer was showing me in terms of Marshall points, as they see the leaders of the session. This is our race control messages that we get hold. I need to click interact, don't I? This is the race control system as well that I was getting. So look, yellow flag at Marshall Point 11, then it was removed all in the same second as well. So he hasn't told us anything about who has stopped out on the circuit just yet. So we'll get back to that. But wonderful little tool that. I really do enjoy that one. It tells us everything that we need to know. We've got more data this year than ever before. Marshall Point 20 has now got a yellow flag. And taking a quick look at my data, that is down at turn 12. So that's after the Mistral Straight, coming into the braking zone as well after the Mistral chicane. So that's coming in towards the area of Indianapolis, isn't it? Just before zone 6 on the circuit. We need to get that track map available so I can pop it up. In fact, I might just get that done in a second for you all at home, because I know many people are telling us where exactly is it on the circuit. So as we're on board with the Peugeot, I'll get that done for you, and we'll go quickly to race control.
Drivers of hybrid cars to stop if they have warning lights about the high voltage hybrid system.
I
wonder if that is part of the problem. We're coming down the Mulsanne straight here.
It's Kobayashi that goes fastest in the first sector, but that yellow flag still remains at Marshall Post 20 as Felix da Costa watches on. He is one of the teammates in that number 38 Jota, and Pascal Vasselon from Toyota is also looking, thinking, please remove that yellow, which it just has.
38 is moving, yes,
yeah.
Confirm that.
Yeah, the only problem is he's just covered by a slow zone. Now then, we've got a problem here as well.
I think they're waiting for space, right?
They are. They're backing up to find a nice distance between them.
That was the heart of racing at Northwest AMR, Aston Martin slowing down.
And numerous cars now getting it. Look, the yellow flag has been removed, Marshall 20, but we've got lap time deletions as well. Romain Dumas, I think De Vries Randall has had his time deleted as well. The 36.2 track limits all being extinguished as well. So really, really interesting start to this session. Immediately they're on it, and within their first lap times, they are having the times deleted from them as well. They're going to have to be careful. One wrong mistake, and they will lose out completely. So fingers crossed, we're going to see an interesting session. Right, we're nearly getting that Marshall Point graphic up for you as well at home, because I know many people asked for it. So 30 seconds and you'll have it.
That second fastest sector, Kobayashi on an absolute flyer at this point, holds on to the 2 fastest sectors overall.
Right, in the rest of the World Endurance Championship, we have 3 separate qualifying periods, one for Hypercar, one for LMP2, one for GTE AM. Maybe with everybody on track together, they've decided making it bronze drivers only may not be entirely the cleverest idea. I have to double check that rule.
So it's the number 38 Jota limps around the Porsche curves.
I think he's going to stay out of the way just, isn't he?
Because the fast runners, 94, car 8 and 93, those first ones that left the pit lane, and they're on hot laps, they are just coming into the Porsche curves now.
Yellow again, another yellow flag. It's means you got green, marshal point 20.
There is that's Brendan Hartley, so he's the first on track of the two Toyotas.
And Kobayashi is quicker than Hartley by a tenth in each of the previous two sectors. Kobayashi, the outright track record holder.
And that car number 93 has really hung on to the back of that Toyota on this lap. Look at that. That's pretty much how they were separated before they... I think he's even caught him up, actually, this lap.
Oh, wow, he has.
As they crossed the line.
Let's see who comes out of the final corner clean. They both did. So it is the Peugeot that's quicker, the 93, then the 94, then...
Yeah, hypercar, Ferrari AF course are going to the top of the board already in the hypercar class. Toyota number 7 can't be match it. So there we go with Kamui Kobayashi with a time that's disappeared as a 3:25.485. Magnificent opening gambit there. Really interesting stuff coming through in this session. We do not want to miss it. We've got a car off towards the Porsche curves with the yellow flag. It's, I believe, one of the... it's the 18 LMP2 squad as well. It's the Ferrari AF Corsa that has flown off and has continued on under the different livery. I think it's got a puncture. It's going off again in the gravel.
I would have to say, that's not really his fault there. With the way that that did not look healthy, the way the car was bouncing around.
A lot of chatter.
Yeah. There's nothing he could do to control that. They're running the car way too low.
Did well to avoid the tyre or more trouble.
Two off.
Is that the
E-Deck? Alpine. Is that the E-Deck or the Alpine?
36. 36 car.
36 Alpine.
Yeah. He's trapped, he's spinning the rear tyres. He's going to need help getting out of that gravel trap. So the yellow flag's going to remain down there at the final corner. Yeah, Vaxivier.
Yeah.
So that's two LMP2 cars coming together.
So how did this...
Oh!
Contact! It's going to be contact!
And the United Autosport car, which has since, I think, dived into the pit lane, was on a hot lap.
Red flag.
Red flag!
Red flag for that session.
So they've red flagged the session because they need to extract that car from the last corner. So the red flag has come out to suspend the race. So our timing screen data has gone down. We'll try and get it back up to you, but this is the track map we were talking about as we've got one of the stranded cars on the circuit. Red flag has come out. This is what we're taking up. This is the marshal point sector that everyone's been asking for as well. So this is split up. So zone 1, that is the first sector. Zone 2 is through into Tete Rouge. Then we go down through Zone 3, the first half of the Mistral Straight. Then after the chicane, the second half of the Mistral Straight, Zone 4. Zone 5 is coming into the braking zone, into Arnage. And then Zone 6 as well down to Indianapolis. Zone 7 up towards the Porsche curves. Then Zone 8 and Zone 9, the last sector through the Ford chicane. So that's the track map here as the 36 Alpine from the LMP2 is taken away. Red flag is out. The session is suspended with 50-something seconds to go of the session. We're now trying to get our live timings back because they've all blown away. So this is our current status with the yellows out, but this is a red flag situation. And once again, the timing datas have not worked for us. So Radio Le Mans, for the first time this morning, have got some news for us.
So what we do have is a handful of cars managed to get flying laps in, the best of which was Kamui Kobayashi in that number 7 Toyota. 3 minutes, 25.485 seconds, a full second ahead of Alessandro Pierguidi. And down in the pit lane, quickly into the action, let's go with Joe Bradley down in the Corvette garage.
3 still hasn't taken any part, as we suspected it might not, in this qualifying session. It's still having that repair job done, but they're getting close. They are getting very close. They're about to put the car on the setup bed, which means the last geometry check before we get this car out. So maybe another 30 minutes away before we see the Corvette take part in qualifying.
Crowds. Red flag still out as they're doing the top of the hour report as well. We've lost all timings once again, so this is just absolutely fantastic. Trying to get everything sorted. Timing source degraded. The upstream timing source is in degraded state. It may not be able to return its accurate data. Again, everything just keeps flashing up. It was working well, and then it goes bye-bye, good night, not going to work. And yet it's working for everybody else. So what am I doing wrong? What have I got wrong? Have I something I need to adjust for? I'm going to see if this works by launching it as somebody else as well. And maybe signing out my account might do it as well, because honestly, no idea what's happening.
Further than that, meanwhile, a brand new Aston Martin has arrived in the Tom Ferrier garage. TF Sport running D-Station Racing, the Japanese flagged team, 777. And the quote from Tom Ferrier at the end of free practice 1 to that big accident, first of all for Casper Stevenson, who lost it on his own coming out of the Forest S's and was then broadside collected afterwards, a number of seconds afterwards, by Stephen Thomas. And Tom suggested that if it had just been that initial impact for Casper Stevenson, they probably could have repaired that original chassis for 777, but it was just way too much then. The secondary clatter, well, it was bigger than that, big old smack on the driver's left as Stephen Thomas arrived and could not arrest his speed in time. I don't entirely know, Bruce Jones, what the problem for Mathieu Vaxivière is here. He stopped just ahead of the pit lane speed limit line. But before you answer that, let's get to Diana Binks with this CrowdStrike pit report.
Well, we should be hearing from her, but we're not at the moment.
The number 38 Hertz Team Jota, they've got a hybrid issue, so the car is in the garage at the moment. That went in there just before the red flag came out, and I can see the team from the pit wall working on that now. So it looks like they are making a bit of progress there, and hopefully that should be back out fairly soon.
That's Will Stevens who brought the Hertz Team Jota Mighty 38 Porsche 963 in. And the hybrid technology, well, the hybrid component itself in
what speed it had been doing previously, throttle inputs, brake inputs, steering inputs, and all of the above. So they will be able to decide. And of course, they'll have the evidence from the driver. So Mathieu Vaxivière returns to the Alpine team, and Alpine will unveil their new hypercar here at Le Mans on Friday. Friday's a relatively quiet day. We do have the second race for Road to Le Mans, the support category here, one of the support categories here. But other than that, a lot of the time is spent by the teams rebuilding the cars basically from the ground up. A lot of them tend to be stripped to the bare bones and then rebuilt. Well, right now, it is Toyota who are quickest of all.
Okay, we would like to go for a second attempt now with the car as it is, just a new set of tires. We try to anticipate the traffic, so we try to refuel. Now we change the tires and we go end of the pit lane. In the meantime, I try to get information about the red flag.
Yeah, so as expected, the drivers, the team, seeing this as an opportunity to come back in, put a new set of tyres on and get back out there with a clear track in front. So you're going to see a race now in the pit lane to get those new tyres on. Maybe, if they need to, add a little bit of extra fuel and then rush down to the end of the pit lane and just wait there.
So lots of different races. Race to the front of the grid in that first rush there. Race to get back to pit lane under the red flag. Race to get the fuel of the tyres on the car, and a race to the end of the pit lane before we start another race to try and better the times that we've done the first one.
It's always racing. Racing. Oh, look.
There you go. There is the new tub for the or is that the old tub coming off? We look round. Now that is the new tub.
That's the new, unstickered.
Yep.
Wow, what a lot of work to do. And so you say, Graham, this is the car that now holds the penalty at the start of the race.
Correct.
For that
so Stephen Thomas has been given a 3-minute stop and hold penalty, and that is not for the impact, but for failing to slow the yellow flags.
Again, I'd like to see the onboard of that one to see just how much time the driver had to respond to waved yellows.
Second or two, maybe.
And we saw many cars actually make that mistake of going too quickly under the full course, under the double waved yellow. You know, the Corvette almost ran into the back. So, you know, a very similar situation there. But, yeah, obviously further down the road was that car, the number 13 car, that made the contact, so there was more time to respond to a wave yellow. And look at that, sorry Greg, what a quick turnaround of Toyota. They know what they need to be doing operationally once again. Toyota right on the money.
Now that's number 8, which came in a little earlier. The number 7 car was, number 7 car was later getting in, but again, same deal as before. Massive rush to get out of the pit lane. before somebody spreads gravel somewhere, before somebody spreads more dirt on the track.
And it has been so incident-packed, isn't it? So
Yep.
for FP1, I couldn't believe it. For those of you who missed it, so many drivers off the circuit, regardless of which category you're in. So they know they've got to... You're rolling the dice in many ways. The longer you spend out on the track, the higher the probability is that you're going to see another red flag or yellow flag. So you've got to get that lap in.
Well, the other thing to say is it's so hot. It's so dusty. There's dust everywhere. There's bits of straw and grass everywhere. And that's not helping them with getting the grip into this track. So if someone's been off the circuit in that area, there are dry stones, there's dry grass, there's dry whatever, dust all over the place. And in extremis, that's causing a number of incidents.
It wasn't as dusty as this last year, was it? I mean,
No,
we see
nowhere near.
before karting corner, that right-hander before karting they're kicking up all that dust, and the grass is so yellow. It couldn't have rained here for quite some time, and I think they're paying the price for that with just kicking up all that dust on the track. Basically, if you venture offline ever so slightly, you've got, seems like half the grip that you have on the racing line.
You see the bouchon, as they refer to it here, the embouteillage. They don't use confiture de trafic for traffic jam, disappointingly. Doesn't translate directly.
Okay, well, I've got it back, and I think Omi's in the pit lane as well, so I'm just going to say good afternoon to Omi as well. Afternoon, Omi, can you hear me? Thought I doing quite quickly there without telling him. Hello, Omi.
Yeah, I can.
Hello.
And also, yeah, I did manage to cancel my plans to go outside, so yeah, I'm staying inside.
Ryan just said, what happened? It just started. Well, we had a small problem. The session's going to restart in about 1 minute 45 seconds. We had the 36 Alpine just sort of spinning off into the wall, into the gravel as well, which means we had a brief red flag. And nice to have you here, Omi. Always nice. We have our timing 71 back. I don't know how. I think if we're very quiet and very nice, I think I might have done something to make sure it works. I don't know how. So we're just going to pretend it's working. And it looks like it is, and then we'll all just be nice and quiet about it. Because I think I've done something finally correct for the first time today. So, the session's going to go underway soon. I'm just trying to figure out everything because it's reset it all. So I need to take away the best sector times because I don't need to look at those. I need to look at the first sector times because I need the lap counter to show me that. At the moment, it's a Toyota Gazoo Racing top with a 3 minute 25.485. That is Kamui Kobayashi, who's gone fast. Just about 50 seconds to the restart. Let's go over for the command.
For it to then develop into the tree and become, and to blossom and to bloom, and that's exactly what they've done as a team.
Brilliant news for lovers of elderly yellow Ferrari 488s. This is the number 66 JMW car. Will be, should it clear this qualifying session, will be about to start its 7th consecutive Le Mans 24 Hours. That chassis. Amazing stuff from JMW.
Louise Beckett.
Yeah, just to confirm, drivers in the car, and that car actually is in the pit row now.
So that's been good news, that red flag for JMW Motorsports. That's saved them all bar 10 minutes of this session. So we are about to go back to green flag running.
15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pit exit is back to green. Session has been resumed.
If you're familiar with well, the voice and certainly the looks of Eduardo Freitas, our race director, bit of a stall there for the sport car.
Oh no, so embarrassing. What a time to stall your car right in front of it.
Eduardo was the guy in the middle of your shot, looked a little bit like a Portuguese Dolph Lundgren, I'd say. Or Vin Diesel, one of the others.
Away we go then, green light, as the session is back underway. Now, we've got 50 more minutes of action. There's our track map. We'll keep that open as well every time there's a yellow flag at Marshall's Point, so everybody knows where we need to be. TweetDeck's the name of the game to cut through it as well. I'll tell you what, as well, Omi, are you a fan of Le Mans? What are you looking forward to in this one? It's going to be a fantastic little session, isn't it?
Yeah, and you do hear this a lot, but it's my first Le Mans as well, so I'm looking forward to this. Obviously, I'm talking a bit less today, but it gives me a bit of time to get used to it before maybe I jump in the box tomorrow once I get back. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Before we get on to the action, though, some of you are apparently going to go for an ad break, so join us straight after. So some of you are on our break, some of you aren't as well. That's just something I've just noticed that my producer was counting me down to on the laptop as we ride on board with the number 3, Sebastian Bourdais. Because it's such a long broadcast, this one, for 24 hours, the ads are automatically inserted by our producers as well. So if you hear me, I'm sorry, Amy, by the way, and everyone in our commentary chat, if you hear me going, sorry, I'm going to have to cut you off, it's because I've got to throw to the advert. And welcome back, everybody. As they look through as well. Timing tower is still green as Sebastian Bourdais comes into the chicane at the back of the straight. Fast sector times coming through as well. Now on the test day here, I think it's really nice to point out as well, we had the Ferrari of course as the fastest team as well, but right now in the hypercar we've got the number 7 Toyota, but the 51 is set the fastest time on the first day of the running with a 3:29.504, has just done a 3:26.528, so we're already faster than what we saw on the test day. So everybody's just obliterating that going into qualifying, which is exactly what we need to see as the Hendrick Motorsport as well comes out on the track. The innovation car, or the innovative car for 24 with Jimmy Johnson, Mike Rockenfeller, and Jenson Button coming into it as well. So Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 coming through the American team, as my spotters guide is telling me on our TV screens here. So it's going to be absolutely brilliant to see what they can bring to all of this in the next 24 hours or so. Are you looking for... It is a quirky thing, isn't it, to have a NASCAR at Le Mans? I mean, it is a weird-looking one, isn't it, coming into it as we now hear it. It's strange, but at the same time fitting, I suppose, to have one.
On its own there, away from the rest of the field.
I was just expecting some team radio there to come through, but it hasn't. Guess what's frozen again? Oh yes, our dear old friend of Mr. Timing Monitor has decided to have a freeze. I have no idea though how Haggerty Radio Le Mans is working. And I have no idea because Josh Tees is working as well, making me think, is it something on my side with my radio, with my Wi-Fi network? But thing is, in between the two sessions, the laptop the laptop and PC has been restarted. So unless it's an internet problem or a cookies thing, I have no idea what's going on. So I cannot get my Timing 71 to behave. So if anybody has any tips up there on YouTube on our wonderful stream here and knows about Timing 71 and knows why it's not working, please do get in touch, let me know, because I want my Timing 71 back working, because it just keeps flashing up with timing source degraded. So if anybody uses Timing 71, let me know. In the time, Porsche's coming into this one, by the way. I don't think I've gone out there on the circuit just yet, because the last car on the hypercar is the Action Express. Now, the top 8 from each class go through. So that's 8 from Hypercar, 8 from LMP2, and 8 from LMGT Am. The innovative car is going to go through anyway because it's in a class of its own, but still, that's how it works in this segment as well, as several of the field now getting ready across the start-finish straight and are pushing it through. The two Toyotas have decided, no, that's it for me. I'm coming into the pit lane as things currently stand. No one's improved on their opening times.
For me, that doesn't look at it. Yeah,
and also, by the way, being
so
allowed
much
to get away
traffic.
with it, because that is profoundly unsafe.
It's not right. It's not right. I think there might well be worse.
Ton of traffic.
That's not right. We've had multiple incidents in that turn, in that place, and that's not right.
Well, what do you expect if you leave the pit lane with 40 other cars?
We've got a yellow flag out on the circuit as the number 30 has had a bit of an issue coming into Tête Rouge. That's the John Queen team as well. And we've got a yellow flag out on the circuit. As you now see our timing towers, look, having a bit of a power fail. Should get going again. Shouldn't need to delay the session any longer than what we have. So don't worry too much about that, but yellow flag did come out on the circuit down at the Marshall Point. 45 minutes to go in this practice session, in qualifying session.
They've had to change their plan here.
Neil Jarney was going slowly because he'd been off at the Dunlop chicane, so he lost a lap for that as well.
Okay, we stay ready to go, Master Mike. Yes. Go nose out, please.
I wonder if they're waiting for the gap. There is still a gap out there in front of the Glickenhaus. which is just coming out of Arnage at the moment towards the Porsche curves. I wonder if they're just going to try and sneak out in front of the car number 75 Porsche that's gone into Arnage now. There's a gap, a nice gap there, and I think that's what the team are doing.
Gilles Duquesne there in the wheelchair at the back of the garage, the man who runs the team and also who is an LMP3 man. In fact, he's taken over what used to be the Norma organisation. Now, purple sectors for Ferrari's Antonio Fuoco. And Kamui Kobayashi has a purple sector time as well under his belt, but that is from the previous session.
Well, Fuoco is currently 4 tenths up on the provisional pole, or the provisional top time rather, not pole time, provisional top time. So getting down into the low 25s here for
Another
Fuoco.
yellow.
Happy hunting ground for the Brazilians. Pietro Fittipaldi in the 28 Jota car, also going very quickly.
And it was an important, lap time for this number 75 Porsche, because they're nowhere on the board at the moment. They didn't get a lap, basically. So now they go P3.
The 28 Jota car, by the way, is not their hypercar. That is their
Red
LMP2
flag.
car.
We've got red flag again. So it's a yellow flag at Marshall point 25, but the red flag has come out for a second time. And this is down at Indianapolis. Have we got a car in the wall? Yes, we have. It's one of the Alfa liveries. It's the 37 Cool Racing as well that has gone into the wall. Jakobsen as well has put it in. So a second red flag in this qualifying session has been brought out as well due to an accident down at Indianapolis. So this is just going swimmingly so far, isn't it, everybody? With everything going wrong with our timing data. Red flag again in this session, but it currently has, if I'm trying to get my information correct, as things stand, it's the hypercar number 7 with Kamui Kobayashi the fastest, and then we've got the LMP2, it's the 31 Team WRT, and then the LMGT-EM class, it's the number 21 AF Corsa Ferrari that is fastest. But red flag again.
The beginning of a quick lap, at any rate.
Well, the big change there is the Cadillac number 3 car is now in the top 8. And of course, that's the critical moment for them.
And unlike, of course, the free practice sessions, the time does stop when there's a red flag in qualifying.
Although it does mean that we're going to have no time for dinner.
How selfish of them.
I know.
David Harmer Hansen.
Very, very first world problems.
Yeah.
So that's the Jota 28 LMP2 team. More consonants being used in that team, I think, than almost any other. We've got David Heinemeier Hansen, Oliver Rasmussen, who you saw there, the 2 Danes, and Pietro Fittipaldi. So that means they need that long bodywork just to get all the names in.
Yeah, that's confirmed, reported to the stewards for causing a red flag. That normally means that there will be no further part to be played by that car in this session.
Reported to the stewards for causing a red, but he just went off the track.
But because he went off the track and called the red flag for recovery, he's caused the red flag, and the regulations say he will have times deleted, he will play no further part.
So that's an IMSA regulation. That's how they play it over there, isn't it?
It's a
24-hour Le Mans.
Currently able to take part in qualifying, but the clock stops again. So previously it had stopped at 51 minutes still to go. It's now 43 minutes and 42 seconds exactly, and the 311 Action Express Cadillac arrives back on pit road. More sparks, this time though from the wheel guns, as the older Michelin tyres are taken away. I'm sure they're not going to be used again for qualifying. They'll be kept back for the race once more, and they will have to select, you have to assume, another set of 4 Michelin tyres that they were planning to use in the race. It's Haggerty Radio Le Mans for 2023. This is 91.2 FM on the track around the for the FM frequency around the circuit and around the world on radiolemans.com.
The Hertz hourly updates.
So we're halfway through the hour. Yeah, and we've got Jakobsen's reported system for causing the red flag. That's pretty much standard, unfortunately, as well at the moment as we come into it. Yellow flag has been removed at Marshall point 25 at this stage, but we're still under the red flag. as we're waiting for things to come in as well. But let's go through then. At the moment, you're seeing everybody on your race control messages. Here's the hourly report.
As it is termed. This, of course, remember, set to make the grid for 9th positions and rearward for all 3 classes, Hypercar, LMP2 and GTE AM. But because we're under a red flag, the session effectively stopped. 43 minutes and 42 seconds remain after a real staccato and troubled 16 and a bit minutes gone already. The 7 Toyota, though, has managed to do the quickest time, a 3:25.485. That's the Kamui Kobayashi car. Second fastest is the 51 Ferrari for Alessandro Pierguidi, 3:26.5. The 75 Porsche for Felipe Nasser from Penske Motorsport is a 3:26.589. That puts it third fastest from Frederick Makoviki's number 5 Porsche Penske 963, a 3:27.239. Fifth place is 5th and 6th, both Peugeot Total Energies 9X8s for Mikkel Jensen, number 93. He's done a 3:27.5 and a 3:27.8 for the other Peugeot, number 94 of Loic Duval. 7th fastest is the 8 Brendan Hartley driven Toyota, 3:28.247. And in 8th position, it's the Cadillac of Sebastian Bourdais, the gold-fronted number 3 V Series R, with a 3:28.7. Just outside the top 8, 9th place for Sebastian Bourdais' teammate Earl Bamber in the number 2 Cadillac, and in 10th position it is the number 4 by Collis car of Tom Dillman, the Van Wall Van der Velde 680. LMP2 quickest car, Prema Racing's Mirko Bortolotti in the 63 car. He's done a 3:35.818. Second fastest is Ben Hanley's Nielsen Racing number 14 Orica, a 3:36.3. Then it's Louis Delatraz number 41 for Team WRT, 3:36.3. And fourth, the Cool Racing car of Malte Jakobsen, who's just gone off and had caused this red flag. So it may be that Malte, even if he does get the car back to the pit lane, he shouldn't be allowed to continue because he's caused the red flag in the session, number 37. 5th place, Edex Sport, Paul-Luc Chatin, number 48, done a 3:36.851. Then we've got Neil Jani and the Duquesne, number 30, the green and black car, number 3:37.584 is his time so far. Robin Frines in the sister Team WRT number 31 has done a 3:38.673, and Gabby Obley for Vector Sport number 10, 3:39.170, is right on the cusp in 8th place. 9th and 10th in P2, James Allen, Algarve Pro Racing car 45, and in 10th place the other Prema car for Bent Viscal, the young Dutchman, car number 9. GTE AM is headed by Proton Competitions Porsche, that's Jan Halen in the number 16. But, actually, I'm just spotting, there are no times officially set by the GTE AM field, none of them. So we've got a 7:28.8, but that was not a flying lap. So this is slightly deceptive. I'd just be giving you GTE cars in a random order. So I think we can pretty much end the hourly update right there.
The hourly update.
Yeah, well, that's them going on. Here's the world feedback. Still no red flag, though, while they have a bit of repair jobs at the barriers.
This is a team that has come up the ACO's ladder from LMP3 cars in the Michelin Le Mans Cup up to LMP2 cars in the European Le Mans Series, the second tier of racing, and now up into the World Championships. It's an ambitious new team. We talked to Nico Lapierre actually during the Le Paysage, the scrutineering in town. And, you know, what about the possibility? Do you have hypercar ambitions? And he was saying, no, we're really too small a team yet. We're too new a team yet. Yes, in the fullness of time, maybe we would like to be running a customer program in hypercar because, of course, they've got ambition. But as of yet, he thinks, no, the team still needs a few more elements added to it to have that big hitting ability.
But that, for me, is why he's good at what he's doing here. He's not overstretching. And I think that's part of it. They're building and building well.
Yanni deciding just to cut one of the corners on the track?
Yeah, Neil had been off, hadn't he? He was going very slowly before the red flag came out. So it does look like the right front is quite a bit down. So, yeah.
Yeah, it does look like he's got a
Is it down or towing out?
Well, either or loose.
It's not down.
Oh no, yeah, it's just like severe cambers being put into the tyre, into the wheel.
Either the wheel is only just being held on by the wheel nuts,
so that's optimism there. They've put a new nose on that car 37, but if he's not allowed to go back out again. Then...
And as a married man, you'll know, until you're told you can't, you still think you can. Louise Beckett.
Gotcha.
Pit exit is green. Pit exit
go,
is
go,
green.
go again!
Session has been resumed. Pit exit is green.
Every time, Lou, I open your microphone, Eduardo comes in still. What do you have for us?
So rude. I was going to say pretty much what Anne was saying. The team seem to be acting as if that car's going to go back out this session. They're getting it ready. You've seen them change the nose, so I'll tell you if they end up parking it.
Roger that, thank you. Okay, so we are back underway. The qualifying session, the single full field qualifying session at Le Mans is back underway. We have 43 minutes of our 60 minutes on the clock. We have had 2 red flags. Martin Haven, Graham Goodwin, and world champion Anthony Davidson bringing you the action. So again, we start again. Again, to reiterate, not one GT car has actually set a full flying lap time. We've had half the field maybe in hypercar and half the field maybe in LMP2 with a shot at a decent time. So Anthony, now we've wasted 20% of the session. We need to get on with this a bit.
Well, this is an important, as it was for the number 75 Porsche last time around after the red flag, it's the important part now for the Action Express Racing Cadillac with Dirani at the wheel that we just saw on screen there, because so far he's down there in 16th place.
And most importantly, he's got 2 quick LMP2 cars ahead of him, but quite a way ahead of him, and might not be a problem for him here, you know. In fact, I think it's 2 Cadillacs in the front of this train.
He should be able to get them, I believe, before he opens up his flying lap. So he's pushing for all his, and that's what you could see when we rode on board, pushing for all he was worth to try and get to the front of that field. This is riding on board with the number 50 Ferrari, Antonio Fuoco. And
he's in rather more traffic, isn't he?
And again, equally an important lap time for him, because he's down in 40th position. Wow. With no time on the board.
Only one of the top 7 hypercars has actually left the pit lane. That's Loic Duval in the 94 Peugeot. I don't think they're sitting on their times. With 40 minutes left, that would be reckless even beyond my wildest dreams, but they're waiting for a little bit of quieter time.
So Fuoco really needs to be getting past this immediate traffic.
Yeah, and is showing with the body language in that car, that's exactly what he's doing with some urgency.
Well, Fuoco, we've seen in the GTE Pro category over the last couple of seasons, like all Ferrari's drivers, has been able to be very aggressive when needed, and he needs to get through these cars down to Indianapolis.
It's like he's in a race here. Look, he's looking straight away into Indianapolis. He's got the United Autosports in front of him, and a few more LMP2s just making their way out of Arnage. He's going to be in traffic on all the important lap that's coming up. So number 311 has found its way into the front there before the Porsche curves. So Dirani is in the clear in that Cadillac.
So 311 and the number 2 caddy is right in his wheel tracks, and that's Earl Bamber in the number 2 car. He was swapping notes with Nick Tandy. They won Le Mans together, of course, for Porsche. And now Earl is in a caddy. Tandy is back in the Porsche family.
So this is what's happening. So Fuoco's got himself in front of those LMP2 cars, and now he's starting to back off. Look, that's why they're right behind us. He's going to try to use that gap. I don't think it's going to be enough, though, because he's got the WRT in front of him, but he will catch, because this snake of cars is going to happen once again into the final couple of corners.
It's at least 5 seconds between a quick hypercar and a quick LMP2.
Yeah, again,
pulls the pin a bit.
So this is why we see this this cat and mouse period going on here, because you've got faster cars out of position and trying to make a space for themselves.
So who has Fuoco got in front of him?
A few more as well as we take a look as well. Apologies that we can't get anything access. The timing source is just degrading, so we've got nothing up here in the commentary box that we can actually tell you to. Live in as well. This shouldn't be just stats. It should be me and Omi standing in the commentary box going on this, but our timing screens have failed on us again. There's something going wrong, and we can't do anything about it. So it's really frustrating. It's been the worst start to Le Mans, and sadly, if it keeps on going like this, we can't broadcast Le Mans because it's just going to be one data screen, which is ridiculous. So at the moment, we've got no way of showing the live timing because Timing 71 has been absolutely fantastically thumbs up, and it's not connecting. Keep showing us this message. So if any of you lovely people out there know what it means, timing source degraded. The upstream time source is in a degraded state and may not be returning accurate data. If you know what that means, let me know, because at the moment I haven't got anything coming on. Has the Hendrick Cameo logged a qualifying lap until what time? Thanks. Well, we'll take a look because we still have this interactive screen which we can use up here. Yes, it has. The Hendrick Motorsport has set that time. There it is, look, as well. So he's the fastest. Let's take a look at it. Well, only one car, of course, but let's take a look at the session stats and car comparison. Sorry, car stats. Take a look at the 24. It's down here in the independence class, and here it is now for you to see on your screen. It's in a 3:48.554, I believe, as the total time. Oh, and the number 88, Porsche Dempsey Proton Racing, has hit the wall, and I'm afraid to say this might be yet another red flag, because he's hit it coming into the Dunlop chicane at the top of the hill. He's locked the rear tyres, he's destroyed the Tech Pro barrier, and he's going to hit it backwards. Got a yellow flag at the moment. Tyre barrier might be damaged. That car needs repairing, though. He could drive it back, but this could be another red flag. We'll keep an eye out. Right now, look, if you see the stats, it's still saying yellow. We haven't gone red just yet, as he has got it going again, but he's got a completely destroyed rear bumper on the car. It has ripped off kind of the carbon fibre on the left-hand side. So right now, it's yellow. And fingers crossed we won't need to go to the dreaded red flag, because we've been seeing too much of that device over the last 20 or so minutes. Well, actually 43 minutes to do an hour session. We've still got 36 minutes to go of this session as well. So we are trying to bring you our data screens, but it is just becoming impossible to get it working as well. But every time we log in, it's fine, and then we just lose it. So it won't actually, it won't pop in the drivers. So it's really frustrating. Toyota number 8 at the moment is quick as they come into the mix. So we've got another idea of the timing screen we're going to try and get on, but we're just going to go
so
up
the
here.
88 car is on the Mulsanne straight.
And you can forgive him in many ways, because that's the first time in this session he's attacked that final sector. He goes fourth quickest for now, but we all saw it. That's the problem. All four wheels over the white line on the exit of karting.
Do you remember Pietro Fittipaldi was going quick in LMP2 in the 28 car? He is again. This is Louis Delatraz.
Tom Blomqvist the top in P2 though.
Dries Van Tor goes second. Louis Delatraz goes second ahead of Dries Van Tor. And Tijeras, Paul-Luc Chatin, they're all flying in. Pietro Fittipaldi on the top of the pile.
So Blomqvist goes second. Pietro Fittipaldi tops the times. Paul-Luc Chatin, Louis Delatraz, Dries Van Tor, Ben Viscal at top now. Also big improvements coming in hypercar as well. It is still Kobayashi from Pierre Guidi and Felipe Nasr, but now Antonio Fuoco with that lap time. We think he'll be looking to keep Kevin Estra, and Earl Bamber now pops up there.
Yeah. And those are the first flying laps, realistically, from that car. Now, what we need is for the session to remain green for 10 or 15 minutes of the remaining 35. There's Philippe Signot. And Antonio Fuoco did lose that lap time. We saw it happen.
Kobayashi goes purple, first sector. That time has been beaten by Fred Makowiecki. 3 drivers at the moment on their Sector 1 times ahead of the provisional fastest time in this session.
Makowiecki has got a bit of traffic coming up. I can see on our circuit map, he's got a GT car on the run down towards Mulsanne corner. But yeah, like you say, Graham, rightly so, he's set the fastest first sector of all.
25.
Not the second sector is not even a personal best for him.
25 minutes gone of this session, and we finally get some GTE times coming. Elise de Pauw, the 21 AF Corsa car, tops that session from Charlie Eastwood in the ORT by TF25 Aston Martin. Davide Rigon, Alex Riberas and Alessio Rivera are the top 5 in that order at the moment.
There is the bright orange TF Sport Aston Martin, the car number 25. That's the Oman Racing Team livery for this weekend. Ahmad El Hadi took pole position last time out in Spa-Francorchamps, a first ever for the Omani driver. Kamui Kobayashi, the number 7 Toyota. This is the fastest car at the moment. This is not a personally better lap. He could still improve in the final sector, enough to push himself further, but at the moment looks like he's about a full quarter of a second back. It's astonishing, over 16 kilometres we can be talking about such tiny differences between different cars and different drivers.
He's going to get held up here. There we go.
Yeah, behind the Nielsen car.
Traffic has thwarted his progress.
But it wasn't a better lap anyway, but so he needs to get by Ben Hanley if he can. Hanley's on a quick lap though.
It was close enough. If you think the fastest first sector from Fred Makowiecki is a 32.2, Kobayashi on that lap was a 32.3. Makowiecki goes second fastest.
Yeah, Ben Hanley concentrating on his own lap and keeping it clean. He comes into the pit lane, so that releases Kamui Kobayashi for another lap. So still the 51 Ferrari of Alessandro Pierguidi and Felipe Nasser's Porsche in hypercar in the pit lane. Here's the 41 of Louis Delatraz. He is still in the top 8.
Earl Bamber goes third for Cadillac. The number 2 Cadillac, it is Toyota, Porsche, Cadillac, Ferrari. 1, 2, 3, 4.
By some miracle, we've managed to get our data screens back. We've had to clear the data. Thank you very much for our technical geniuses behind the scenes who've given me all the instructions. Okay, right, we're back in business as well as we take a look at the hypercars. We've got still the number 7, and we've got another yellow flag. No, just as we get it back, it looks like we've got another yellow out on the circuit. I can't tell where it is because the systems are still rebooting. Maybe it'll tell us on our timing screens. Just a yellow flag at the moment. It hasn't told us A, which marshal point, and B, where we need to see on the track. But look, this is how it should be. This is our data screen. If you just joined us on YouTube, this is what we're supposed to have access to be able to see everything, as it is marshal point 20. And if we open up the image up here on our computer, you can see where marshal point 20 is, and that is in zone 5 coming in towards Arnage. That's where it is on the bottom of the circuit there. No idea why at the moment. Car 66, Thomas Newbar has had his lap time deleted for track limits out there on the circuit, so we haven't yet gone to a slow zone. We've in fact returned to green flag conditions, and just glad that we've got our data systems back up operational as well. So, at the moment, this is the running order we are seeing in this Le Mans 24-hour race qualifying procedure as well. The GTM class being led by the 21 Ferrari as well. So, good on the 21 Ferrari having a great start to today. Fingers crossed he's going to have a great start to the weekend as well, as we've got all our data systems back now as well. How very nice to see it. As I think it's confused itself by having 2 systems operational at the same time. So it's like it's tried to justify itself and it hasn't. That's why we've still got the pick on. Look, we've had to completely change everything. So there you go. That's how it should look now. There we go. With all our information on at the same time of the screen. So yeah, basically it's had a paddy because it's confused itself. So that's what we've been trying to regroup it with to come back in. Look at that track temperature, 33.4 degrees, air temperature 29.9 as the sun starts to set here at Le Mans. It's just closing up. Now we're watching Brendan Hartley. He's 11th at the moment, and crucially, he's outside of the top time is Hartley in the number 8 Toyota of the cars in Hyper. 15 in total. Look at that as well coming onto the screens. I'm starting to think, have I lost anything on my driver track in terms of why I'm not seeing any more coming into it as well? Because I'm counting 15, but I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, yeah, that's okay then. Hartley only goes 10th. So at the moment, this is the big news coming into Le Mans, is that the Toyotas that have been so dominant over the past 4 years, the Toyota number 7's leading, but the Toyota number 8, a multiple winner at this track, can't get through to Hyperpole. Now that is a surprise with 29 minutes left on the clock. And Omi, if the Toyotas don't go through, it is quite a big deal, even if one of them don't. They have been dominating WEC for for several years now, nearly. So do be advised that that's going to be the way to go. Okay, so fingers crossed we've got our systems back operational at the moment, which is brilliant news. Again, we had to, apparently there was a glitch with timing 71 earlier, so you've just got to clear your data and it should then come back because we've tried to do several things. So it was my fault for not doing that earlier on, but brilliant that we've got it working again up here in the comments box. We will have a driver tracker later on as well in the weekend. The reason we don't have one now, however, is because it is only available via Discovery Plus, and that is an option on the weekend as well. In the LMP2 field, Jolter lead the way with the 28. There's the 41 as well for Team WRT, the 48 IDEC, the 10 Vector, the 37 Cool, the 23 United, the 47 Cool, and the 22 United. They're the 8 cars currently progressing from LMP2 as we ride on board with the number 3 Cadillac Racing of Sebastian Bourdais in the hypercar. He runs 7th at the moment. The top 10 in the top 8 in hypercar currently. Toyota, Porsche, 7 Toyota, 5 Porsche, 2 Cadillac, 51 Ferrari, 75 Porsche, 6 Porsche, 3 Cadillac and 50 Ferrari from the 15 hypercar entries we've got out on the circuit. So they're still closing in. I really am keeping my fingers crossed we're going to get it as well as they come through. Keep pushing Ferrari, says Eugene as well. I've just got my iPad back up actually with all my YouTube chats as well. So where do we get up to? Hello, everybody. I'm sorry that, Eugene, your comments seem to be held, so that's not my fault. So where do we get up to? Red flag, what happened? Why has it started? Hello, Eugene. Sorry that your things kept getting blocked there. It's one of those Google things. Hi, Richie. Live debacle. We've got it back. Evening, Jess. Hello. Cece says, Cece, hello. Hello, everyone. Has the Henrik logo to quick car? We've done that as well. Hello to Dissimulate. Ryan says, red flag again. Denise, hello to you. Papaya Palpatine. Papa Palpatine. Go for Papa Palpatine. I know where you got that from with Robot Chicken. Megan would love that. My other co-commentator as well, my sister. She'd love that. Hello to Bob. Says, wow, Jessica's 2-car garage. Given the carnage, I would not run a lap. I didn't have to if I was in garage 56. I'd agree with you there. Bold 10 goes Toyota with the big smiley face coming in as well. Dennis says, go #3 out there on the circuit. That's going to be the Cadillac Racing. Take it you're American or just a fan of the Americans. In FP1, Camaro went 349. LMP2 fast, almost flying, says Alan Carr. As well, I like that name. It's quite funny. As it comes through, where to see for real? Could you turn live timing up again? Yes. Sorry, Dennis B as well. It really got a little bit confusing. I've managed to fix it, so I hope you're still with us and hopefully you are enjoying the show. Where to see this for real? It's on Eurosport 2 in the UK. It's on Discovery Plus. It's on Motor Trend back home as well. As the Toyotas have got through, because the number 8 Toyota Gazoo Racing of Brendan Hartley's gone second fastest, 3:25.749. So Hartley has finally managed to get up there as well. So the P8 is in that session at the moment. And that means out of the hypercar running, actually goes the Ferrari, of course, in number 50, who in the test day was 4th fastest. So proves how much they need to see as well. Keep pushing Ferrari LMH as well, says Eugene. I kicked in the show for keep pushing LMH Ferrari. Could have been gone all through already. Oh, hang on, YouTube's crashed on me now as I'm waiting to get back in on my end of my laptop for the YouTube stream to control it. YouTube crashed. Yeah, no, really? Everything's crashing today. It's one of those crashing days. 200 viewers. Let's go. Hello, everybody watching on. 7 seconds from P2 to 5 seconds from AMS and Alan Carr as well. 3:14 top speed. Must be a menace to drive. Looks like it too. That's the Camaro. Bottle Brent says, stupid that we don't have trackside footage. I know, but don't honestly, don't worry, because there are always systems that WEC put up, like Le Mans put up, like usually we get to see race control, things like that, usually some onboard cars. We've got a green screen that's going to come in onto the commentary box as well tomorrow. We're going to test it out, and hopefully behind me we'll get some onboard cars and footage going in the background as well, behind me in the com box, and then some other features as well. So don't worry, we will have something. It won't just always be me, and we've got more members of the team coming in as well, but them's the rules. Basically, it's what Radio Le Mans does, but they do it one weekend. We do it every weekend for every single sport. We've got about 13 we cover now here on the YouTube channel. Coming through, Go Glickenhaus says Frederick as well. Pietro says show the GT grid please as well. Yep, sure. Is Serena on pole position at the moment? Well, let's take a look. That's the LMP2 field. So let's scroll down to where the LMGT AM class is, and then there are a lot of them. In fact, here they are actually. Here's the GT class, perfectly timed. They are 40th down to 62, if that is working at the moment. So at the moment, in the LMGT AM, we have the let's go for full screen so you can see it better. That might be something to go through as well. So we've got the 25 ORT by TF. Charlie Eastwood in control of that one, the Aston Martin Vantage at the moment. That's on provisional pole for the AM class. The 57 Kettle Racing. There's the 55 GMB Motorsport. The 54 AF Corsa. The 83 Richard Millay AF Corsa. There's the 21 AF Corsa. 98 Northwest AMR, that's in the Aston Martin Vantage as well. Then it's the 74 Kessel Racing, the 77 Dempsey Proton Racing, the 85 Iron Dames. So they're doing really well in the session. The all-female team in the Porsche 911 RSR 19. Then it's the 72 TF Sport, the 60 Iron Lynx, the 911 Proton Competition, the 16 Proton Competition, the 100 Wokenhouse Motorsport as well. And then we get the 56 Project 91, Project 1 AO, that's Matteo Cavalli as well in control of that one. Then it's the 86 GR Racing, the 66 JMW Motorsport is coming out of the pit lane, 13 Tower Motorsports, 33 Corvette Racing, 38 Hertzjet Jota team as well, the 88 Proto Competition, the 777 Distation Racing. But you know what I'm not seeing here? Who's currently top of the field? Look at that. Look who is fastest. Look at P39. It counts as a GT car, but it's in the contingency innovative class. But look at that. The Hendrick Motorsports, Mike Rockenfeller, the Chevy 347.976. It is faster than the AM class. So that NASCAR is faster than the GT field. I don't think anybody expected that to come up on the screen. Look at that. Look at that. Big chat for Garage 56. That's incredible. We've got Felipe Nasr coming across the line. The Porsche Penske, 7th at the moment, and goes up to 4th position for Felipe Nasr. He's 3 tenths off the pace of Jose Maria Lopez. Great time there. Ferrari, of course, are closing in. So these are the runs at the moment. I'll just run up the screen because these are the ones we're seeing at the moment with the 50 Ferrari AF Corsa in the first sector. He's up by a 10.5. Is he quick in the second sector with Fruco at the wheel? The timing screen's not seeing as well. A lot of love as well for Brazil with the Carrera. Hello, everyone. Hopefully everyone's enjoying it. Yeah, it looks absolutely fantastic, doesn't it? We're live through the entirety of the Le Mans 24-hour. Well, now our systems are working again. We're all cooking with gas with 21 minutes to go in this qualifying session. So this is how it works. We'll have the Le Mans coverage. We'll have the green screen and some footage behind as well, and we'll get that sorted. In fact, we're going to work on it tomorrow morning, so it'll be ready, I think, for the third practice session in the afternoon. We'll get that set up as well. Then we can put other things behind as well, like a live footage of the track. If anyone's got any webcam footage of the track, you know, like how you get at the Nürburgring and things like that, you get webcams around the circuit. I can't remember if Le Mans has got any. I've had a look, but yeah, I know I'm really waiting for them to put it in race control like they've done in the previous years. They put a 360 cam in there. I think that'd be great to have a green screen with race control behind, seeing everyone work around there. That'd be absolutely fantastic as they'll come into it. It's not incredible called BIP 250 more than GTE. Apart from the engine, there's very little of NASCAR actually. Yeah, exactly. The engine is a NASCAR spec, but the car is very much upgraded from what we normally see in a stock car. But it is incredible still to see. Your mind gets blown by seeing that a NASCAR is quicker than a GT car. But then again, it shouldn't really be surprising because they go over 220 anyway as well. When I was covering the Daytona 500 with USRN, earlier on in the year, they were reaching speeds of, what was it, 222 on the banking? So really high stuff flying in. As we see, Ferrari AF Corsa with Antonio Fucco at the wheel. The hypercar Ferrari finally back at WEC in the top tier for the first time since the 1970s. And Fucco goes top in the 50 Ferrari of 325, 421. He is 64 thousandths in the Toyota, number 7 of now Jose Maria Lopez. Well, that's knocking on the door with some certainty. Ferrari go top in an unbelievable manner. Well, that's everybody got a bit surprised and a bit panicked now. That's incredible. So let's take a look then quickly at how they look in this stage of the qualifying session. In hypercar, it's the 50 Ferrari AF Corsa that has gone top. Then we get in LMP2, it's the 28 Jolta. In LMP GT AM, it's the 25 ORT by TF, Aston Martin Vantage AMR, Charlie Eastwood at the wheel. And in the 39 as well. Well, the contingencies, the 24 coming through as well. Right, Radio Le Mans for a few seconds.
Radio Le Mans weather.
Very hot and congested on the track, and it's still really warm for Wednesday evening at Circuit de la Sarthe as well. Temperature just dropping very slightly, but it will take a long time for the track to cool down. Slowly and surely, the track's getting faster and faster with more tyre going down from both Michelin and Goodyear. But tonight's going to be clear, a low of 17 with a light wind. Tomorrow, very similar conditions, a high of 30 degrees Celsius.
The most comprehensive coverage of the world's greatest
That's Radio Le Mans, that's really annoying.
This is Haggerty Radio Le Mans.
50 fastest, the Ferrari 499P of Antonio Fuoco, 325.421, and that completely now changes the landscape because 8th position is a 326.528, and there's a gap of 0.3 of a second back to the first non-qualified car so far for Hyperpole Kevin Estra's Porsche Penske Motorsport 963, which is car 6. Then Mikkel Jensen, 10th for Peugeot, number 93. Loic Duval, also in a 9X8 from Peugeot Total Energies, 94, is 11th, with Pipo Derani in his Action Express Caddy, 12th fastest car, 311. Changes in LMP2 recently. Well, 2 quick laps again from Prema keep those cars in the top 8. Mirko Bortolotti and Bent Viscal both improved on that lap. They did identical times, 3:35.392. How's that for proof that both of your cars for Prema are set up identically? Tom Blomqvist in the 23 car is in 8th, so still looking for improvement from Richard de Guerres in 47 and James Allen in 45. Philippe Albuquerque's the next name that stands out for me, not in the top 8 in car 22.
Yeah, and one car that had the dramatic moment early on, Ben Barnicoat in the AF Corsa number 80 Orica. That has not got anywhere close to the pace. It's still in the pit lane, obviously having repairs and checks after it ran through the gravel trap and just squeezed past the barriers at the tyre wall at the Porsche curve. A big gravelly run, but that, look out for that, because Ben is an absolute flyer, and if he can get the car out on the track, he's going to have to go quickly because there are only 17 minutes remaining on the clock. The clock is not his friend, but that is a car that could be one of the deliver that late coup de grace and get into the top 8 in LMP2.
We should about to see some improvement for Alessandro Pierguidi now in the 51 Ferrari that was parked up for a long time. So that's the Giovinazzi car, Antonio Giovinazzi, 51. But just hearing that the Pierguidi lap has been scuppered because of a slower Aston Martin in the final chicane. He will go across the line now and go to the top. So Alessandro Pierguidi, far from his lap being ruined, finds the time. It's a 3:25.412, 9 thousandths of a second quicker than Antonio Fuoco. However, it's just been deleted.
Oh,
it's been
track limits.
No, that's Fuoco going faster. Beg your pardon. So Antonio Fuoco now 0.199 of a second faster. Ferrari front.
Fantastic at the moment. Ferrari looking great then as things stand, but still the timing 71. We had it back and now it's died again. So isn't that always the way? Now I can't find out how I deleted the data. So it's really getting good as Josh T's with us as well. Hi Josh, how was the end of your radio show?
Very good. I've lost time in 71 as well, which is brilliant.
Oh great, this means it's not just me then, which is fantastic.
I did have it for the start of the session, but then it's gone again at the most vital part of the session.
Complete ditto. It's just died on us again. Isn't that great? Always the way. 15 minutes to go and we don't have it. So this has honestly been, I think, the worst opening day to Le Mans I can remember in a very long time.
Marshall Coast 3 yellow.
Oh, that's why the 85 is in the gravel trap, and guess this is going to have to go red because the 85 as well, Iron Dames and Michelle Gating at the wheel, and it's a slow zone in effect. I'm surprised about that because I thought they might go red, to be fair, because of the amount of trouble they've had on the circuit here today, but slow zone is out in effect. That spoils everyone's qualifying laps, so it may as well be red flag. They haven't really thought about that. Oh look, timing 71 now has gone down on Radio Le Mans as well. That makes me feel a bit better.
Personal best first sector.
Well, he's all right if that's just a local yellow.
Did he get through it in time?
Yeah, he did. He did definitely, 100% he did.
Toyota telling Buemi to bail out of the lap and into the pit lane. It wasn't quick enough anyway.
Have they put Buemi in the car and sent him out for a try for qualifying, or is he now, or they've decided now we're going to stick?
Just, I know, Pedro, I know, we're trying to get our data screen back. That's why it's a boring screen. It's the data, it's the only one that's going to update you on anything going on the circuit, because our data screen has frozen up here in the commentary box. I'm really sorry, but at the moment, that's all we've got with our commentary feed while we try and get our radios back, because they've just gone.
To that speed.
Because look, it's yellow before the finish line, so it will be yellow in the chicane, because that's where the incident is. So driver change here.
So Brendan back in the car.
Yep.
Their qualifying driver gets back into the car. Do you think that they think there could be another red flag here with 13.5 minutes to go?
I would red flag it.
It is entirely possible, unless they, I mean, normally when a car backs off at the forward chicane, it's really impossible to get, we've got PJ Hyatt's car as well there.
Oh, another one off.
Trexie. Let's hear from the pit lane, Louise Beckett.
I am on my way down to Toyota at the moment.
Okay. It's a long way. All right, we'll catch up with you when you get there. That's Matteo Cairoli at the wheel of the Porsche, not the Mercedes.
The 86 got going again. Right, so the 85.
And the 85 is back underway once more.
So the problem there is that's not going to help us, because we've got another slow zone, but it will help a car trying to finish the lap, because they will lift that slow zone at zone 1 with as soon as the... Is that going to be enough time? The 93 is just about back with us, so no, it's not. So as things stand, it's Ferrari 1-2, Toyota 3-4, Porsche Penske Motorsport 5-6, Cadillac Racing 7-8. They are the 8 cars in Hyperpole. GTM we can see there, the ORT by TF Aston Martin from the Kessel Racing 57 Ferrari, the 55 GMB Motorsport car. Marco Sorensen, what a great job he's done for the debuting Danish team. The 54 AF Corsa Ferrari 83.
So at the moment, this is the best we've got on our timing screen. This is how desperate we've got to, with a slow zone in effect out here on the circuit. Right, slow zone has been activated. Where, Josh, have you said it's in sector 8, isn't it?
It's zone 1.
Here we go. So here it is. Look, so zone 1 on your track map we're showing you here.
Yeah.
So red zone 1.
But it's now been moved to before the chicane, and prepare for slow zone at zone 9. So yeah, that's going to be where the stranded car is.
Yeah, so
just before
change some session status live overview in this page you're showing us, if it's possible. Well, I can have a go. Should we have a go? No, let's have a look. So, yeah. Well, I don't think it'll work. I'll try, because when we click on it, usually it doesn't load in. So this is Alan Carr's thing. So here we go. Yeah, it doesn't work. It just sort of freezes on us. So the session stats is the only one we've got actually working. But we have got a basic timing screen operational at the moment.
Mean if that is if it's down, like it's properly down?
Yeah.
Like, because if it's not working on the session live overview, then it's properly down.
I have no idea. I think because Radio Le Mans are having the same issues as us. I'm having the issues. You're having the issues. Everyone's going to be having the issues. It's the 56 Porsche 911-2 is going to get another push back from Project 1 AD. But I think Timing 71 are going to say, okay, something's going on here. I'll get it sorted. I did tweet Timing 71. I'm now Googling Timing 71 on Twitter to see if many people have been having the same issues at the moment. Yes, they are. So I think I recommend the timing plugin actually have 2 at once. Yeah, so everything's going a little bit dodgy at the moment here in terms of Timing 71 not working. Keeps going good and then bad again, so it's really bizarre with the slow zone out. But nobody's improving on their lap time as things stand. Yeah, bugged, I'm sorry, says Alan Cut. Yeah, no, it's really annoying, but thank you everyone for sticking with us as well through the annoyance of this system as well. Slow zone is now, as you said, in zone 9 up to zone 1, so it's the last sector slow zone.
It will end at 20.
And you can see there were
45.
Yeah, so it's going to come in shortly. Slow procedure will end at 10:45, which is coming up in about 9 seconds' time. So we'll have this back up and running shortly, as I've got back into YouTube as well. Honestly, the entire system's just kicked us out from everything we've been trying to do today. It's been the worst opening day I think I have ever seen in my life for Le Mans. The timing screen has just not worked. Everything. Slow zone's gone. Slow zone's gone. So we should be back to. We are back to green flag running. So slow zone is gone. It's just a yellow flag we've got now locally on the circuit before we go green. Hopefully soon. Monetization not a bit. If anyone's got any idea what on earth is happening, I would love to know, because everything's just going completely wrong. You try to scroll down the live overview. Yeah. Hi guys, I've been even watching on WEC. How many sectors have Le Mans have? A lot. Here's the Le Mans sectors. Look, a lot. It's what?
I believe
3 sectors is per normal, but it's a long sector lap.
It's 3 timing sectors, 9 mastering sectors.
Yeah. Prepare for slow zone. There's another slow zone. Marshall point 16.
5.
So there's 2 coming through. So yeah, slow zone 5 is going to be activated. And slow zone 4. So we've got another, that's down at Anage, so another slow zone has been activated.
It's the Iron Dames again.
It's the Iron Dames. That's come to a stop. And we've got the webcam up with the CCTV camera. So yeah, there's a problem down on the circuit with another slow zone coming in. That is down, and the slow zone 5, as you said, Josh, has been activated as well. That's down at Anage. So, yeah, another slow zone. Why don't they just red flag it? I don't know. Because they're costing everybody lap times. No one can improve out there in the best of the conditions. And they're just slowing us down instead of putting out the red flags. No one's going to improve. So, yeah, that's the basic timing tower we've got, unfortunately. I'm so sorry that things have gone wrong. Fingers crossed it's going to be working tomorrow. Because presumably everybody's going to be saying, especially everyone down there at... Radio Le Mans going to be saying, what on earth's going on? Why on earth can't I have any access to anything?
Slow zone end in 15 seconds.
So it's a slow zone. Oh, they might not get there in time. They're coming up to it. So might be just very quick before the slow zone comes in. And it's come in. We're back to green flag running. Yeah, 6 minutes to go on the session. And nothing's working. They've just pushed the Iron Dames car behind the circuit now as well. So that's good.
Slow zone 5 has been removed. Slow zone 5 has been removed.
If you want more drama, what's happened today, one of my monitors has just blown up as well. So it stopped working. Oh, we're having a peachy day.
Dear.
We're having a really good day at the moment. Like one of the best days we've had of the year so far. Everything just wants to give up on us. Right, Charlie Eastwood's fastest at the moment. The 8 from each section, remember, progress. So it's 8 Hypercar, 8 LMP2, and 8 LMGT EAMs. They progress through to Hyperpole tomorrow, and we've lost everything now. Up here in the commentary box, Josh T's cameras have gone absolutely huge. For a reason I don't know. With 6 minutes to go, we've got something else happening with the Hypercar. It's a lock-up for the 708 Gleekenhaus coming through the Ford chicane and has to cut the corner. Go on, Josh.
Car 66 has been reported to the stewards for speeding in the pit lane. That's the JMW Motorsport Ferrari.
Well, they...
LMGT EAM, which I've seen, which is quite funny, Josh,
yes.
On Tom's notes that he's provided everybody. About the GTE AM car, underneath that, Tom said, imagine a GT3, but on some kind of illegal substance.
Pretty much right, yeah. Pretty much how we like to think of it.
Yeah, but it's just made me chuckle when I saw that for the first time.
5 minutes to go in this session. The Porsches are currently having a go out there at the moment. I'll tell you one thing I do want to take a look at, and we're going to now while we've got this time with interaction screen. I want to take a look at the car stats for the leading Toyota. Well, the leading, the 50 car, basically. Where is it? The AF Corsa. Here we go. So here's the 50, the AF Corsa coming in. Look at that from Fulco. He's done 100% obviously in the drive time in this session. But look at the stints he's put in. And he is remaining remarkably consistent as the 6 Porsche gets a little bit of a bump out there too. But tell you what, that is impressive stuff. Look at that. So first sector time, ignore that. That's one start, 8 minutes length. But he's been doing 3:27. That's his best one. 3:26.7 on with his 6th lap run. Then his 10th lap run was his fastest, 3:25.213. Amazing delta time. Like proper amazing delta time. He pushed that so hard in that session. He's been absolutely fantastic. So Foucault really doing well out there. Let's do a comparison between... Oh, hang on, here we go. Let's do... I've got to remember where the dock is actually here as well. Let's do a comparison then between him and the... 7 of Brendan Hart, or 7 of Jose Maria Lopez in the Toyota. Wow, look at that. The green indicates who is faster for the Ferrari. The red indicates who's faster for the Toyota. So if we take a look at the delta time, what's the smallest between them as well? It's here. Their fastest times. Look at that. So 3:25 for the 50 as well. That was its fastest lap time. And then the fast lap time for the... Ferrari was, where is it? Is it here? Yes, 3:26.7. So look at the difference. Minimal differences in time across the two, but a much better time from the Ferrari in the comparisons. Fantastic, as we see 8th at the moment, the 2 Cadillac Racing of Earl Bamber getting through to 8th. Kevin Estre and the Porsches are coming up to play as well. We're just returning to the session stats while we nearly have our data screens relaunched. I understand, actually, that our data screens might be working for free practice too. They're just trying to get them working. Hey, we've got it back. We've got it back. Let's not do anything rash. Apparently, if you relaunch the data screen, it's going to come back to you, which is very nice stuff. So Timing 71 are obviously doing their job and their business. Yes, there we go. Look, it's back. It's back once again. Brilliant. Towards the end of qualifying, we've got it back. So, Ferrari F Corsa looking really strong. Just got to configure the columns back. So we don't need the state, we don't need the picking class, and we don't need these best speed times either, because it's not how we need to look at the data. So look, here we go. Right, Ferrari's fastest as well with the AF Corsa 3:25.213. Then we've got the hypercar coming in as well. So finally, data screens back, as we can just turn that window capture off for a second, as we've got our normal data back at the moment, and back to TweetDeck. Do you know what? I'm running around more in this hour session than ever before. Good afternoon, Josh. Greetings from Argentina. Hello, Lucas, everybody. Alan Gaza, thanks for the coverage. Oh, no problem at all. We're here for the whole 24 hours. If our bodies and mind can last that long without having a heart attack trying to get all our systems regrouped up again. Honestly, it's a nightmare.
Lucky you having working timing screens. I do not yet.
Refresh it.
I have multiple times. I think they're rolling it out slowly.
I'll take it.
Just updating everybody's, like by region,
well, I'd like
within the same region.
Well,
so.
I'd just like to thank everybody that's currently watching us right now here on the YouTube watch along, as Kevin Estre stays in 9th position, just missing out, crucially, on that time to get into the hyperpole session. We have got more viewers right now than Radio Le Mans. And I say that, they're now dipping. That's probably because we've got the live timing graphics as well. So thanks everyone for watching. And MP2, the 8 cars at the moment going through. It's the 28, the 41, the 48 coming through. Now they've gone to GTE AM as well, so it's really hard to keep across everything. But just focus on the hypercars at the moment, because that's where the battle's coming in. Ferraris aren't going to improve. Who's on the drop zone coming through that? Well, the Cadillac. Number 2, the 6 Porsche Penske, the 93 and 94 Peugeot is going to come in, 311 Action Express, and the 708 and 709 Glickenhaus Racing, and the 4 Van Wall as well. I'm not expecting to see Glickenhaus or Van Wall progress through, because they're the only cars in hypercar that don't have the hydrogen power cells as well. The times are so close as well for LFG Canning. Yeah, it's looking good. We've got our data screens back as well within the final 30 seconds. They better work for practice too, which is coming up in around about 30 minutes or so. So, Nicky Katzberg at the moment is on top in the GT AM class as well. And now the 77 Porsche has got through, and it has kicked out the 60 Porsche. And that is now going to be in the pit lane. Charlie Eastwood has lost provisional pole position. But remember, this is qualifying practice. Tomorrow is when we progress with the top 8 cars from all classes. So that is 8, 16, 24 to 25, because we're going to have the an invitational car as well, the initiative car. Checkered flag is out now. Session is over. So, who's missed out on the session? Well, it's the 9 Porsche, obviously, as well. Lap time deleted by the stewards. So, the 60 Porsche's back in. Who got deleted? Loads of lap times just flying off our screen
I think
there.
I saw the 74 get dropped down.
Yeah, so that's the Ferrari 70, and it's been put back in. It's been put back in. So the lap time got deleted, then it's going to be put back in. So the Ferrari's gone through. It's kicked out the 60 Porsche in the GT AM class as well. Everything looks to be secure there. Let's take a look at the AM class, because it's where it all is. Hypercar's pretty much dealt with. Kevin Estre is looking good in the Porsche Penske. The Jolter squad and LMP2 dive into the pit lane. Oh, correction, actually, that might be Jolter for the... No, it's not the 38 car. It's coming into the pit lane as well. It is the Jolter squad in LMP2 coming in as well. Trying to look at a timing monitor up here. That's a bit difficult to see without standing on tippy toes. I need to lower that a bit. Can't actually see Jolter in LMP2 anywhere, can you? It feels like... Oh, here it is, 28 Jolter. Well, the hugs are down at Ferrari because they've topped the session. It genuinely looks like the Ferrari AF Corsa team in Hypercar might just have a shot at getting a pole position. We'll find out tomorrow in the Hyperpole segment. Same time tomorrow, 6 p.m. to get all the action. No, 5 p.m. to get all the action, isn't it? It's an hour earlier. Well, this is going to be fun. Josh is in the pit lane.
Car 48 and car 59 lap time deleted.
Yep, just seeing on our screens, cars 57 and 28, 33 to go to scrutineering. That's from race control, as you can see on the messages coming through. Here comes Kevin Estre. He's ninth at the moment. Can he kick out El Bamba? No! 2.4 seconds off the pace of Bamba. So that is Kevin Estre out of position. That's really disappointing as well. The track limits are killing so many laps, says Freeze. Absolutely. Forza Ferrari, says Gil. Absolutely. Put in the Forza Ferrari. This is the qualifying session for the Le Mans. We've got a yellow flag out on the circuit. Josh will tell us where it is shortly. As we see that in LMP2...
Turn 17.
Oh, no. LMP2 is getting a close battle there. I'm trying to get it, but the timing tires won't let me. Here we go. So 15 down. That's where the Jolter squad is for LMP2. And that is Nielsen Racing. That's Ben Hanley at the wheel at the moment. He's 10th. Blomqvist is 9th in the 23 squad. Pietro Fittipaldi is topping the session at the moment. LMP2. Cross the line comes Ben Hanley, and he only improves to 9th place. He misses out by around about 61 thousandths of a second. That's insanely
Prepare
close.
for slow zones 5 and 6.
That might be okay as the flag comes out. Team WRT for Robin Frines only goes 16th fastest. Bortoletto goes into 3rd as the slow zone coming out of the circuit, as you said. And that does it for qualifying. Ferrari AF Corsa are 1-2 at the end of normal qualifying. The top 8 from each class progress through in towards Super Pole. And what an absolutely fantastic Hyperpole we're going to have tomorrow, because it genuinely looks like for the first time Ferrari are the ones with the pace. And the first time at this Le Mans 24 when we can really open up the teeth, it's Ferrari who haven't done a Ferrari. They're actually competent in World Endurance Championship, just like they were in the 1960s. Oh, this could be fun. If Ferrari win Le Mans, I will be amazed. And I don't think I'll ever forget it. But those Toyotas, though, 3rd and 4th, Josh, they're still quick.
Yeah, they are. Slow zone has been removed at turn 17 down at the other end of the circuit. But yeah, both Ferraris on top, and this is the number 311, the Axon Express Racing hypercar, which has stopped out on track. So
that explains our slow zone.
Has been removed, but it's now back out.
There's 2 slow zones coming in as well. Radio Le Mans has just said apologies for the lack of timing, but we are at the mercy of the rather unreliable WEC timing feed. You could say that again. We have honestly been manic to get this sorted behind the scenes.
I feel like there's a war coming on between you and Radio Le Mans for timing screens.
I think there's a war coming between me and Radio Le Mans for ratings at the moment. I think we've beaten them from their overall stuff at the moment. They're on 268, we're on 165, but we did have a top, I believe, at over 300 at one point, which was more than them. So Pleasure to everyone watching me stand in the commentary box shouting at some data screens that aren't working correctly as well. Let's go through then the sessions and tell you who's gone through in terms of the top 8 from each class. So going through from Hypercar to Hyperpole is the 50 and 51 Ferrari F Corsa, the 7 and 8 Toyota Gazoo Racing, the 5 Porsche Penske, the 75 Porsche Penske Motorsport, the number 3 Cadillac Racing, and the number 2 Cadillac Racing. The top 8 going through from LMP2 is the 28 Jolter, the 41 Team WRT, the 63 Primo Racing, the 48 IDEX Sport. As well, I'm trying to keep up with the numbers here. Yeah, so the 48 IDEX Sport, the 10 Vector Sport, the 47 Cool Racing, and the 923 LMP2 PA Racing Team Turkey. So they're the 8 going through from there. Right, in LMGTE AM going through as well. We've got the 83 Richard Mille AF Corsa. Then we've got the 54 Ferrari AF Corsa. Then it's the 33 Corvette Racing, the 25 ORT by TF. Then we've got the 57 Kessel Racing, the 55 GMB Motorsport, the 21 Ferrari AF Corsa, and the 74 Kessel Racing. They're the top 8 going through. Alpine was down at the back. Let's go down for a pit lane interview with Louise Beckett.
That so much. I was in the garage when the red flag stopped you on a fast lap, but you put in such a great effort.
Yeah, it was really intensive qualifying with all the red flag, but I need to say the guy did an amazing job. Everyone stayed really calm, really focused. We keep our goals to score a really good lap time, and we are really happy. So I want to thank all the team for the hard work. We are putting all our effort on this project, and it's really good for the guys. So I hope we can continue with this trend. We know tomorrow it's gonna be tough, and it will be really important also tomorrow. So we try to do our best. We enjoy the moment, and from FP2 we go head down again, and we try to improve our car.
Thank you, well done.
Thank you.
Just going through the times, 62 cars, remember, that we've got to focus on in this session as well. So hopefully everyone is getting used to the timing screens up there at the moment. At least they're back working for the time being, and honestly we're not touching it because the next session is due off in about half an hour's time as well. The second practice session, I think it is. Josh, what time is practice 2 actually coming up? Is it 8:45?
It is 9 p.m.
So, we've actually got an hour 30 minutes to get this all going. You can join us. That stream is up and running, by the way, as we look at Pietro Fittipaldi. Has he gone for an interview?
BST,
top of the pile.
Yeah, an hour and a half.
And you can join us for that FP2 coverage as well, live on YouTube, hopefully with a nice timing screen, because I'm not touching it now, it's working. I'm literally just sort of going, okay, you're working, I'm going nowhere. Slow zone's still in effect. Might just try and repair our data screens as well up here in the comms box. So, are you ready? Because now it's time for Josh Birch reads out 62 cars in Hypercar. It's the number first overall. It's the 50 Ferrari F Corsa. There's the 51. Then it's the 7 Toyota, the 8 Toyota, 5 Porsche Penske, 75 Porsche Penske, 3 Cadillac, 2 Cadillac, 6 Porsche Penske, and 93 Peugeot Total Racing as well. The top 10 in the session. 11 down, then we see the 94, the 93 Peugeot, the 94 Peugeot, the 311 as well coming in. It's gone too quick. Oh well, we've read it all anyway on the side of the circuit. I can't be going through all 61. It's going to be insane. But a good qualifying that, and now we know the 8 cars from each class going through into Hyperpole tomorrow. A 30-minute session to see who's going to end on top. I'm going to really enjoy it, Josh, that Hyperpole tomorrow. Got Ferrari at a golden opportunity to take P1.
Yeah, we do. And if I have a look at my stats, Ferrari have won it 9 times, but they haven't won it since 1965.
Yep, because the next year, in 1966, they were beaten by Ford in that fantastic David Goliath battle that was very brilliantly made into a film as well, which was Le Mans 66 or Ford v Ferrari, which is always something you have to watch on a Friday evening for Le Mans. So it's got ready there, especially if they're going to be on pole position. Go on, Josh.
Yep, then Ford won 67, 68, 69 as well.
And then Ferrari left WEC in the hyper class as well, in the GT class in those days as well. They just left WEC, focused mainly on Formula 1. Then the old man, Enzo Ferrari, said, okay, I'm going to come back, but I'm going to go to IndyCar instead. And they actually built a Ferrari IndyCar. and then tried to bully Bernie Ecclestone with it in order to give him a veto in the sport of Formula 1, and then decided to come back anyway to GT. They never really left GT, but it's the first time Ferrari are back in a top-tier motorsport for the first time. Okay, well, my thanks to Josh Chief for being in the pits for that as well. Slow Zone is out. My thanks to all 5,622 people who've watched this qualifying session and have mainly just watched a blank timing screen. I apologise for that, but look, our systems are back up and working now. Thanks to Timing 71 for a quick repair. We'll be back in around about 1 hour and 15 minutes time for the second practice session, and trust me, you're going to want to tune into that and sync up with your coverage, because it's the first time in 2023 we will be racing at night. The lights get switched on as we do some night running. Thanks to everyone. We'll see you then tomorrow for Hyperpole and later on for free practice 2. Bye-bye.